Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel RC Morty Hobbies. I'm Josh, and this is the layout. HO scale train layout. For those of you who are new seeing this, took up half my garage to do it. Obviously quite a bit to go. Got my backdrops, got like 4 more of them just around it. I just want to give you guys another update on it. As you can see, I'm progressing. These aren't permanently in, these were just placed here to know where I'm going to be putting my pre-wire stuff. And this is the block. Distribution block is going to power all the stand-up lights, and then I got these of the 4 switches. These are 4 lights for the for these guys right here. Oh, of course I got stuff on top of everything. Sorry about that. I wasn't going to show them, but I decided to, and I just dropped a few. That nice box. Basically, it's these guys: red, yellow, green. They have 4 wires, so it controls them in different ways. Different functions. Also have just the red and green ones. So yeah, these are old Cat 3 or 4 Cat 3 wires, and I got it for really cheap at a thrift store, a whole spool of it. So I ended up using it for anything that needed 4 lines, and then get it. Basically, this is pre-wiring, and then I'm just gonna connect it into everything on the modules. Several ways to go, getting things done, taking some time. These are the Duratracks on top are my turnouts, and I only really needed 1 extra turnout, just connected to that one right there. So that will be programmed to work with the turnout and various other things if I need it. So I ended up having more modules than I thought I needed, so not bad. This is the Bluetooth power one. This is the one that works on Bluetooth, which will have more things going to it because I'm planning on having multiple different items attached to that to be easier to program. So I'm probably going to take that switch and put it over here just to show you get multiple different functions out of one module. Pretty cool stuff. And that box right there is the transmitter for the wireless. Let's see. I left the locomotive there just to show it. I got a whole bunch of buildings out just to show where they're going to be going. Lots of distribution blocks. Various types. This one uses screws to tighten them in. The other type is spring loaded, so you put your wire in there, you pull your spring down, and you look, oh, it's tightened up. You can see I've been adding filler paper. Basically, these are like unprinted, well, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but this looks like unprinted newspaper in a way. And it's the same texture as the newspaper does. Same look without it being printed on, and it's basically just used for packing. It's packing paper, really, for packing stuff, wrapping things. You get a ton of it. A fraction of the cost it would take to buy newspapers. Newspapers these days are ridiculous. I bought 2 newspapers. They were $4 each. I was like, well, the hell with that. I went down to Home Depot, Walmart, found this stuff. 10, 12, 15 bucks, you get a ton of it. And so I've been using that, as you can see. Fills it in, gives it a nice hill-like texture, so when the plaster cast goes on top, gives you a really good texture, so it's not just one thing or another. Different areas of filling in. Tape is to kind of just hold it there, give you an idea what the shape is going to be in the final result. This is actually going to be a river flow. It won't be actual water, it'll be artificial water. It'll look really good when it's done. I mean, this being a black base on the bottom, it's going to look good because as you go up layering it, you'll see different colors in it. And it'll be coming under the bridge. Out here I have, not for this one, but for this bridge I have concrete, well, faux concrete pillars that go underneath to hold it in there. So you can see that's going like that. I got the paper folded in, looking really good. Real quick, I just want to show you how easy it is to do one of these paper things. I'll show you some more the proper way of doing it. I mean, you can do it any way you want. I mean, basically, Woodland Scenics kind of gave you an idea of how to do it. This is a smaller paper. So this, what you want to do is you kind of want to just basically have it fold under itself. As you're folding under it, you kind of make like almost like a mushroom, like that. See? And then it makes it easier to place at different spots. It gives you more of a rounder edge and stuff. So it works really, really well. Okay, you guys got it. Okay. Let's see what else. Getting the tracks laid out where they should. Lots and lots of pre-wiring. lots of pre-wiring from various things, from turnouts to lights. I got cross lights, I got cross signals. These are really, really cool. I think it's like one guy makes these things. Because he barely has these in stock. I was fortunate enough when I came across these, he had a few of them in stock, so I bought them. What sucks is that like, he makes these, they're just one-sided. He also makes double-sided, and I was only able to buy one, and every time I check, he does not have them in stock. Though I must say today, since I'm talking about it, I'll probably see if he has them in stock, because these are really cool. Give a much better traffic signal. These are neat. Actual full-blown traffic signals, they just flash red, yellow, green. They don't actually stay on it. Yes, if I wire these directly to the module, I can actually tell it to stay on certain colors or patterns. I actually decided just to use what, it just came with these guys. It automatically just flashes in between different things. You can actually change it to do different stuff. I'm just going to use what it came with, and it's just simple, just power wire, that's it. So they can actually be combined with these modules, which will power all the buildings and the street lights. I got a lot of street lights. I even got some extra of these really tall ones I'm probably thinking about putting up here. Where'd my bag of streetlights go? They're probably just in an electrical box, but yeah. A lot of pre-wiring, well, not a lot, but I still have pre-wiring left. I gotta get, basically where you're seeing little light up stuff and lights, that's where I need to do the pre-wiring, because then I put them back in the box, because I know we're putting them when they're done. So, got quite a few pre-wiring done, quite a few more left to do. Those are central boxes. Like I said, they're split boxes, so they go all over the place. It makes it easier, so I can usually just put, just a power wire goes to this, so I don't have to draw like 100 different power wires. One power wire, and since these are LEDs, they don't pull too much juice, and I can split it up. And the way the module works, it splits its power, and if I need to have less per module, I can do that. It's no big deal. I have extra modules now. And so I'm thinking of just hiding these like underneath the building. So these have no bottoms to them, just like that. And then have all the power wires come up underneath a certain point where that building's placed, and it'll plug into that. And then if I ever need to have access to it, I'll just pull the building up. Basically that building won't be attached to anything. I'll just pull it up if I need it. So if I need to do adjustments, I can pull it out of the way, yada yada, put it back in. Pretty simplistic. Different things. I got lots of different buildings. I even got a few buildings that haven't been brought out yet, because I have so many of them now. I have a dealership I'm questioning if I'm going to put out here yet, because I don't have any of the trucks for it. I bought and then used the dealership on my first build. It was back during the iPhone 4S, so that's a while ago, right? And I didn't have camera equipment, I just had that. I didn't even think about doing YouTube at that time. If I did, I'd probably have a stronger following right now, more subscribers. My original layout was a 8x4, and I just followed the Grand Valley kit from Woodlands Inn, because I did my own thing with some of it. I didn't have the buildings, I did a lot of larger buildings, a dealership. It was pretty cool. So this time around, I'm kind of using some of my original buildings, but also adding a lot of different buildings and little things here and there, more houses, little towns here and there. So basically, I have two towns, like one up there, one down here is more larger, more stuff. Different locations for loading items. See like a platform there for loading goods or unloading. Same with that one. A couple of them over there. I'm actually going to stretch that up to the end. So that gives you more options there, and I got a whole big old, train yard up there to play with. So a lot more items. When you're at a gas station, I really like the gas station. This is like probably one of my pride and joys right here. This thing was fun to build. I had a lot of lights, so every place where I had a fake light under that hood there for the pumps is a real light. So it's like, I think there's 12 lights in total there. It's pretty bright, and it looks good. The donut shop, that was part of my original setup. Yeah, lots to do. I've done a lot, lots more to do, but one thing about train layouts, which I like, even if when you get to the point where people think you're done, you really technically never done. You can keep adding things, changing things. That's what I like about these things. And they're more interesting, there's more detail, more things into it versus having a bunch of RC trucks. And don't get me wrong, I love RC trucks. I'm going to buy a lot more of them. At some point right now, I'm focusing my resources on getting this to the point where it looks done, but then I can make changes to it, make more movies. I have a fog machine and we added somewhere around here. Fun things. Maybe even do a little creepypastas. I mean, those are kind of my favorite things to listen to. And, I feel like I wouldn't do a bad job. But yeah, I got a ways to go. But yeah, so there you go. There's the update. You can see you got adding things around, making things look more legit. It makes more sense with these risers, and you got these. It just looks a lot better that way. And I purposely made a lot of flat surfaces so I can have buildings and things. So it looks like a couple towns and various things going on versus it just being straight tracks everywhere. You know, here and there you see a pump. It's like, eh. I also have, that's still under construction, is a oil filler for all the tankers. I bought mainly tankers. With this kit, I bought tons of tanker cars. I mean, yeah, eventually I'll have tons of everything. I'll just have them set up on a display case, maybe hung up there somewhere where it'd be nice to look at, and then I could change them out when I want. But that's basically oil filled and oil fillers or dump or empty, right? And then I have fuel pump. I have gas ones. I have diesel ones. So I have fuel fillers. I have ones that, I mean, they're painted red, which is kind of silly. I should have just painted them green or yellow because they're for diesel. So I'm probably going to have to redo that. I was going to buy straight up diesel tanks, but I couldn't find them. I ended up getting these other ones. So yeah, I just think of that now. Like, why did I paint the red? But it's fine. You'll see. They'll be painted the right colors. Of fuel filler, oil dump, all kinds of fun stuff. Those areas, I have a couple cars that are dedicated just for that. Those are more for manufacturing, like unloading grain and flour, stuff like that. Lots of diesel and fuel and oil and all kinds of various liquid tankers I bought, water, this, that. I think it'd be fun. None of them are bigger than the actual locomotives. If they were too big, I'd be concerned they wouldn't be able to handle any of the turns, but I tried my best to make sure none of the curves are too tight. I mean, most of these things are sort of said that they can handle down to 15 degrees, which I purposely want no more than 18 degree turns or 18-inch turns. I don't want to try 15 on some of these because I don't think it would make it. And these locomotives are all the same type. Well, different brands, right? I went from Bachmann up to Broadway Limited Imports, but they're the same type and style and look. And the Broadway Limited Imports, obviously the most expensive high-end ones I have. They even put out diesel smoke, which is pretty cool. But I have this out just to kind of make sure that the curves are not too tight, everything works, and it seems to be working really good. Compared to my first build, when I put them in together, I didn't have things where they should be. There was a dip or too many dips in certain spots where they went together and it would derail. I'm trying my best to make sure there's not that going on. Because after I get pre-wiring done and I get some of the stuff, the paper in, and then goes a plaster cast. After plaster cast, you put down your road bed, your track bed, which I'm using the foam track beds, look good. And then I have to put my road system, which is basically smooth it for everywhere there's a road, because I have cars and vehicles that are going on them. The town's basically going to be completely covered, and I hopefully have enough to fully cover the entire town and smooth it. It looks cool. It's basically concrete. It looks like a concrete base, and it can color like asphalt. I get quite a bit of that. I was originally thinking about doing it like on this, but I would need probably another 2 or 3 more. I was like, nah, I'm just going to plaster cast it. That's enough. These get the track bed. When they get rocked, basically the whole thing's going to be rocked out. And I am going to have certain areas where there will be a road system going through here. You'll see. It would look really cool. Okay, these tracks that you can put the road system on it, just cut a line through where the tracks are, as long as the wheels can go through it. It's really cool. All right, and I've been talking quite a bit, but I'm pretty proud of what I'm got going on here. I like it. Spent a long time thinking about it, trying to designing and building. Previous house, I decided to move because the market was good too. So I ended up having to make changes. Lost that chunk. So that's why the center had to be done. So it took me a little time to make sure everything just worked out right. Then I ended up adding, and I actually had to shorten the actual train yard a bit. So the yard's been shortened, but I was able to widen it out with a couple of these pieces, so I was able to add extra. So it actually looks really good. I like the way that looks. I'm going to make sure that guy there is fitted in so he can pull the cars in and out. That's what it's for. Of course, my command system here. I actually cut the legs down on that so it fit underneath here. So far so good. It's looking nice. The whole thing's wireless, controlled through a nice Digitrex 2 throttle system, handheld, very nice, very easy to use. Looking forward to trying out this Bluetooth. That should be fun. Who knows? I might actually just swap a couple of these out with Bluetooth. They're more difficult to program than I like, because using the computer, the software, it's not impossible. It's a little to wrap your head around if you haven't done it. And I haven't programmed these particular things much. I mean, I programmed these are super easy. But the funny thing about this stuff is if you want to run lights off and like program them differently, you have to have extensions and it adds up. That's why I bought a bunch of these. Is you just need that. A little hard to program, but once they're programmed, they're done. And then this, $70, compared to having to add all the extra equipment on top of that, this would probably be close to 80 to 100, and a bunch of extra things to be able to do different functions. $70 gets you just use your phone and reprogram it. So I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. If I really like it, awesome. I'll probably buy a couple more. If I don't, no loss. So I just bought one. And I'm realizing this thing is not straight. And it's probably because of the way this is tilted. Yeah, I ended up pulling it off of that simply because I needed it to be more balanced. I'll resecure it at a later point with bolts, not nails. But okay, guys. Well, I hope you like this. I know I kind of rambled on, but give you more visuals. You know, you got lights, buildings, tracks down, all kinds of fun stuff. You know, showed you how to fold in the paper if you haven't already known how to do that. They give you those mountain-esque, hill-esque areas, and then of course my river. Gonna look pretty neat. Probably will buy some little fish if I can, throw in there before they pour it. But once you pour this stuff on, it's like epoxy, it sets. But yeah, a few more things to do to kind of add surfaces, things like that. Like maybe add something there. I could add more buildings. I have a lot of buildings. I know a lot of people. That's one thing I always wanted. I liked about trains. I love the train thing, but I always want the extra details. I want the buildings. I want the lights. I want the little people figures, the cars. I want to make it look realistic as possible, and I feel like I'm getting there. My first build, definitely, but it was lacking houses and stuff. It was more of an industrial through the mountains. This is a little bit of everything, so pretty cool. I always have to add a bridge, so I got to, you know, I like the bridges. I always think of making a really long bridge set, but since the room's not quite where I need it to be as far as roomage, and if I made that into a full bridge, basically that is a bridge. But if I bought all the pieces like this or the other one, I mean, it's not the fact that they are pricey. It's that I was like, well, you know, I mean, that's simplistic, and I could just use it as part of the mountainscape versus a massive bridge thing. I know some people do really good bridges. I've seen some crazy stuff out there. Like they'll just take that area and make a bridge out of it. But you know, there's always things I can do and change down the road. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hit that like. You know, leave a comment if you want. If you have questions about anything, if you want me to specifically show you something I am doing more than just browsing over it, let me know. I always like talking to people, so you know, friendly questions are always welcome. Friendly comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends. I will talk to you guys soon with another update.